Ooh, it is time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tyler, the Creator season once again, and we're gonna find out what Tyler created with CHROMAKOPIA. I'm very excited to get into this. A little bit of an unconventional release date for this one. I believe it dropped a few hours ago on a Monday. Who does that? But I'm not too mad at it. I'm just glad that we don't have to wait till a Friday to hear this and we can get it at the start of the week. So in terms of what I've heard from this already, I've heard the Saint Chroma teaser that was posted on YouTube. I believe it was just about a minute of the song. Sounded great. I've listened to Noid. I think that track is amazing. One thing that I always love and appreciate about Tyler, the Creator albums is how sort of crafted and cohesive they feel. They're basically how albums should be, if you ask me. We've got this cool cover that seems to be setting up a new sort of character or persona for Tyler. The title is really cool, CHROMAKOPIA. Just with the music videos as well, I feel like Tyler really makes his sort of album cycles, if you want to call them that, count, and really sort of sticks to certain themes and ideas and concepts within them, and of course evolves his sound and tries out new things a little bit. Noid almost reminded me of Cherry Bomb a little bit, but like better and more polished, so I'm very interested to see where this album goes, man. Let's give it a listen. We got 14 songs on this bad boy, 53 minutes of music. I'm really excited to see what we get. So track number 1 on CHROMAKOPIA, this one is called Saint Chroma. Like I said, heard the teaser for this. We'll see how the full track is.
Don't you ever in your motherfucking life dim your light for nobody.
That was Tyler's mum, right? I've only listened to the teaser once, so it's still relatively fresh for me. Amazing build up on this. God, man, beautiful already. Oh my God.
I don't like the way that this is looking. Mirror got me thinking about my booking. Do I keep the light on or do I gracefully bow out? Send me, bro.
Second verse sets things up even more on here.
Inside, can you feel that fire?
I think Chroma was a great start to this. I love the build up to it with the marching band style of drum beat with Tyler just doing some whisper flows here. And this track seemed to set up a really interesting theme of maybe like Tyler's uniqueness and his passion, that sort of being his light. And then later on in the second verse, we had Tyler sort of addressing that, saying, I just need this time for myself to figure me out. Do I keep the light on or do I gracefully bow out? I'm interested to see where that goes. I'm trying to read into it right now, but it's silly. It's silly to try and fully understand an album when you've only heard one song, okay? I thought the sounds were great on here. This did remind me a little bit of a sort of slightly different but polished Cherry Bomb sound, sort of like an evolution from that, and that sound done in a way that I feel like even more people will like. Very interesting setup to this. Great start. Would put this one down as a favorite. Let's see what we get going into track number 2, Rah Tah Tah.
Roll my windows up, dollar rolling windows up. Biscuit ass niggas, Rah Tah Tah Tah, bitch, I'm stepping on the gas. She ain't never met no one who talk like that. Heard the boy got thumpers, I'm a bona fide face seat there. And if you hang up on a nigga, bitch, I call.
Track so hard, it's got me choking on air.
I flood this, I flood that, I swim good, I'm Pisces.
I'm a fish.
I'm like, she ain't never met no one who talk like that. And if you hang up on a nigga, bitch, I call right back.
Again, I'm pausing for a second here just to say once again, it is a relatively sort of new sound. I wouldn't say there's any Tyler songs out there that sound exactly like this, but the album it is reminding me the most of right now is sort of Cherry Bomb. Even the drum beat on here, it reminds me a little bit of something like the Brown Stains of Dark East Latifah, parts 6 to 12. Can't remember the rest of the title right now, but yeah, the way that this track is hitting just reminds me of the impact of that song and sort of how hard the drums hit. This is pretty cool so far.
I could never ride no Hellcat, shit don't cost enough. 20,000 on me. You moving sloppy if you get that sloppy where you sleep at. Never tell them niggas or those women where you breathe at. My biggest out the city after Kenny, that's a fact now. She ain't never met no one who talk like that. That's why I'm paranoid now, cause niggas weird.
Setting up Noid. Okay, so this track perfectly sets up Noid and bridges into that, once again sort of evolving this character a little bit. This is another one that built up pretty perfectly because I feel like the last verse again was the most significant one, the one where the most stuff was sort of being addressed. You can even see those themes of paranoia slowly creep into this track that sort of presents as a brag rap style of song. It went very hard as well. I love the way Tyler uses synths, alright? I love synths just generally within rap music, but the way Tyler uses them is so effective, and it can, you know, on different tracks, it can be absolutely beautiful the way he uses those nice warm synths, and on other tracks, it can just go brutally hard, and this was an example of the latter. It went brutally hard, so it absolutely was a banger, but I like how the sort of paranoia felt like it crept into this track a little bit more as it went on, and the only reason I really noticed that is because I've heard Noid, I know what Noid is about, so I could see how this track built up to it. Is that another one on the favorites list? Am I going to end up just putting the track list on the favorites list? Let's continue into that theme of paranoia. It's track number 3, Noid. Have heard this one. I think it's a great track.
Things feel out of order. Look around, I'm not sure.
And you got that sampled hook, very unique sample to use.
I can't even buy a home in private. Home invasions got my brothers dying. Notice every car that's driving by, triple checking if I lock the door. I know every creek that's in the
I just gotta pause it for a second to say one part I love about this segment is that building synth in the background that just feels like tension rising. Tensions is definitely rising, and it just feels like this paranoid character. You can just feel their heart rate going up with that synth, you know? 3 tracks in, bro. What an album. Album of the year already. I'm messing around. We'll see how it goes, but it's good so far. I'm liking it.
Please, whatever you do, keep to yourself. Keep your business to yourself.
I feel like that's Tyler's mother again, which she seems to be playing a big part in this album.
No cameras out, please. I wanna eat in peace. Don't wanna take pictures way before 19. LA will do that to you. Where you from, nigga? Who you? Y'all niggas cross the line like fuck the stop sign. They wanna know where I close my eyes at. I keep my eyes wide.
Yeah, fantastic track. Covers this paranoia theme excellently. Now see, I knew we were building up to Noid because, like I said, that's the only full track that I've heard from here. I'm curious to see where we go after it now, because I could see how St. Chroma and Rah Tah Tah would build up to it. Where do we go from there? But Noid was another great song. It's 3rd one in a row on the favorites, man. How is this happening? Just as great as it was as a single, maybe even better, because now you can see how it slots into the album, and I think it fits into the flow of all this perfectly. The instrumental is so interesting, really reflects that feeling of paranoia through these sudden guitars that just sort of barge their way into the track. You've got that building synth during the verse. Like, it feels so unique in Tyler's discography, I think, and it's such a cool track. Very curious to see where we go from it. Track number 4, Darling I.
Whatever you do, don't ever tell no bitch you love her. If you don't mean it, don't tell us.
Check.
Darling, I keep falling in love.
Ooh. Ooh, a little bit of tease, oh. Okay. Seems like it's a song about lack of commitment here.
La Ferrara handle better and it's pretty as shit. Feel safe in the road. See monogamy, that shit is not for me.
There we go, yeah.
Perfect for the time being. I ain't do nothing wrong. Life is short, but forever it's so goddamn long. I'm thinking 2 kids until I get infatuated with a new bitch. But nobody can fulfill me like this music shit does. So I'll be lonely with these Grammys when it's all said and done. Come on.
I can't help but smile at how fucking good this is.
It's not just sex. I get different things from different people.
I'm sorry, this is the best one on the album so far.
Transparency is key, to be honest.
Bro. It's also going down on the favorites list, and that is like my favorite so far. That is the best song on this up to this point, and it honestly might be a little bit hard to top that. And I love what this song did with the structure. We start off with Tyler's mum basically saying, whatever you do, don't ever tell no bitch you love her if you don't mean it. Don't tell us. And then we basically get this sort of honest conversation here where Tyler talks about how he can't help himself from falling in love. He talks about how monogamy isn't for him, forever feels like too long, and I think that really makes perfect sense for Tyler's character and at least how he appears to be. It seems like his mind is always active. He's always thinking about different things and experiencing different things. He doesn't want to have one option for the rest of his life. He wants to experience not just sex with multiple different people, but also just like all the different things that you can get with different relationships. It's not a song that I relate to. I'm 100% in the monogamy life, baby, and I love it, right? But I think this was really cool to get his perspective, and it helps that it is a dazzlingly beautiful sounding track. I couldn't keep a smile off my face during that entire song. And then at the end, for the outro, we had Tyler's mum coming in once again. She's been a big part of this album already, saying transparency is key. And we got that in the bridge of this song where Tyler was, you know, talking to a girl, or maybe represents multiple conversations that he's had with different girls, talking about, I get different things from different people, and I want you to explore it too. I don't own you. It's not fair to just be stuck with me. So he's honest, at least, you know, if you're going to be non-monogamous, it's probably good to be honest about it and say that we should both go out and experience other people. I thought this was fantastic. Yeah, let's see where we go on track number 5, Hey Jane, which I don't know if it's addressing a specific relationship here. Let's see.
Always, always, always wear a condom.
Okay.
Hey Jane, we got the news and I ain't know what to do. I didn't panic.
Oh.
If it was bound to happen to me, I'm lucky it's you.
Hey, yo.
We could both relate to the fact that our dad's gone. Couple good qualities on you, you could pass on. Can I pull out now? I didn't pull out. Wow, I'm disappointed in me. This ain't like me. Hey Jane, I'm terrified, petrified. I don't want to give my freedom up. It's your choice at the end of the day. Just know I support either way. No pressure.
There we go. Support of Tyler. All right.
Damn, what do we do?
Oh, so this is from Jane's perspective. Interesting.
It's a voice inside me begging to keep it. I'm 35 and my ovaries might not reset. A feeling you can never understand. I can't. You just hope to God I get my period again. But I don't need to stress. I could do this alone. My mom did it. Your mom did it. This is really traumatic for me. I could raise it by myself.
Wow.
I'm dramatic, you see.
Amazing storytelling here.
Scared of not knowing, but too scared to make decisions. I said I would, no matter the decision today. I just want us to be cool either way. No pressure.
Wow. Wow, that was incredible. That was fantastically written. I think that was an amazing track from a songwriting perspective. I mean, I just generally love songs where the rapper gives their own perspective and then puts themselves in the shoes of the other person in this scenario. Here, Tyler was talking about accidentally getting someone pregnant, which, as we know from the previous track, he's not a big fan of staying locked down and staying committed to one person. And having a child is kind of like the ultimate commitment. So he talks about the worries he had in a situation like that, the pressures of that, just his feelings going into that. But he ends the verse by saying, look, Jane, it's your choice at the end of the day. Just know I support either way. I took that as him sort of being able to put his fears and feelings aside and not pressuring her into aborting the baby just because he doesn't want to commit to having a baby. Then we got Tyler putting himself in Jane's shoes and rapping from her perspective. Again, this one sounded great, a bit more toned down than some of the other songs, not as frantic and exciting. The track itself is more of a intimate, life-changing conversation, so it makes sense that the track is a little bit slower, a little bit more stripped back, and I thought it was incredible. Once again, Tyler's mum is the big theme on here, setting up all the tracks and setting up the themes for each one right at the beginning with words of advice that she's giving to Tyler. So let's see what we get on the next one, track number 6, I Killed You.
You do blow out, go round and round. The 3-6 waves go round and round.
Nursery rhymes with Tyler, let's go.
If they see you on top of
The
me,
drum
I
is
gotta
going,
leave.
okay.
Bitch, I killed you. Bitch, I killed you. Taking you out. It's not a game full of shame. Force you to relax. You was thick, you was BB. Couldn't take the heat, so you gone when they see me. Uncles, daddies, brothers, sons, cut by one. The shit begun early. Bitch, I killed you. Talking about my heritage, I could never kill.
Ooh, okay. Oh. Okay, this is a track that took a little bit of a second for me to get, but it's about his hair. Referring to it as his crown, being related to his heritage. Oh, is that Gambino? I Killed You was another amazing track. This is one that took a little bit longer for me to get with the metaphor that it had going into it. The song was about Tyler's hair and the sense of identity that can be attached to that, specifically from the perspective of being a black man. This was actually really amazing as an extended metaphor because at first, again, I didn't fully grasp it. I thought he was talking to a person and I didn't really get what he meant by I killed you. And I like that flipping the last part of the verse as well, where he says, you the room baby, they the motherfucking elephant, talking about my heritage I could never kill, talking about how he loves it because it's tied into his heritage and he's not gonna hide it or strip it away anymore just to make other people feel more comfortable. So let's see what we get on track number 7, Judge Judy.
I met this girl named Judy at the cafe around my way. Stuff this in the phantom and wiggle through the streets. She said she never do this, but she think that I'm sweet. We end up at my home, we dance around and make some sweets. Body rubs, bondage, and cream pies. We could play around in public.
All right. Tyler with his ridges, man.
Just like me. She like road. Hands around her throat. Couple guys.
Hey, Freaky Bob is calling. He said he loves this song.
I knew it when we met. If you're reading, it's too late. I'm on the other side, but I just wanna say thank you for not judging Judy.
Are we getting the nutting sounds? Instrumental's fantastic, by the way. So hold on. Is that last verse implying that Judy died? And we're getting all her dirty details on this song? Rest in peace, Judy. You sounded like you like to get down. So very much continuing that theme of openness on this album, which is pretty interesting for an album where Tyler is wearing a mask on this cover. So this was talking about Judy, another one that talked about a specific relationship, and let's just say Judy liked to get freaky, and we got some intimate details about that, how it was pretty good in terms of chemistry with Tyler. But then in verse 3, we get Tyler switching perspectives once again to talk about a letter that Judy sent him, talking about how, you know, Judy appears to be sick in some way potentially, but she says, thank you for not judging me. She was just, you know, happy to spend some of that time with him. Even this song took a heartfelt spin at the end. I love how much I'm able to talk about each of these songs so far. Track number 8, we're moving into the second half of the album. This one is called Sticky. You know how sticky it gets. Gonna be a bit more of a banger, maybe.
Bitches getting sticky, sticky.
Is that the highest pitch Tyler's voice has been without pitch correction?
Bitch, step me pop shit. Blast fuck that.
Oh, really? Okay.
She say that's her nigga. I don't give a fuck. Getting sticky.
Always talking about potential, bitch. I am the better me.
It's getting sticky. Oh, Sexy Red. This track is fucking nuts, man.
Sticky situation, discombobulation. Caught me red-handed, palms itching like rosacea.
Wait.
Dripping condensation, got a whisper conversations.
Who could make a song like this except Tyler?
Better find a mop, it's getting sticky in this bitch.
This track is too much. What's happening?
A home wrecker, I been fucking who I wanna. Okay. Better find a mop, it's getting sticky in this bitch.
What did we just go through here? What did I just listen to? I feel like this will probably be a polarizing track on the album, but I think I love it. Glorilla, Sexy Red, and Lil Wayne on this album was kind of amazing, and it's such a weird banger. That's the best way I would put it, a weird banger. At least on a first listen, I thought this was amazing because there were so many moments that just caught me off guard. It's getting sticky. I need another listen to know for sure how much I actually enjoy it, but in terms of a first reaction listen, I thought that was great and super entertaining. Let's see what we get on track number 9. Take Your Mask Off, which, you know, with the cover of this album, this should be a pretty interesting one. Come on, there's been too much good music on here. Don't do this to me.
Big guns, what you got, huh? Slat, and pop back at the ops, huh? A good kid, fine home, mom and dad in the pig. Last money every Christmas, if you ain't a thug, you was a drama club, you was an actor. I hope you find yourself. I hope you find yourself. Yeah, preach. You make these folks think you got something to teach.
Preacher, okay.
Too fond of them gauge, you don't deny it. Had you thinking God would hate you, so you covered it up. Gotta hide how you live.
So this is about a gay preacher.
That put you back on that religion shit as soon as you come. Let's talk about it.
Find yourself.
3 cute kids that's in your arms. Your husband just made another meal. Mama, your first name. Your last one got changed. They dream about your nest, but you crave flying alone. Can't even get alone. Time to think of killing yourself. Let's talk about it. Your beats ain't placing, them songs ain't slapping, your raps ain't ranking. Boy, you selfish as fuck. That's really why you scared of being a parent. Boy, that therapy needed. I take that mask off and tell them the truth. Let's talk about it, nigga.
2 words. Fucking wow. That's another one for the favorites list, baby. I hope you find yourself. I love this track. Basically talked about taking your mask off in different perspectives. First verse was about somebody who was essentially a fake gangster who just felt like they had something to prove, ended up in prison because of it. Second verse was about a preacher that is actually gay, but because religion tells him that that's wrong, he tries his best to cover it up. Third verse talked about a mother who has 3 kids. A lot of people see that as the ideal life, but for her, she's actually kind of sad about it because she feels locked down. She feels like she can't chase her own dreams. She's basically locked into the role of mother now and kind of feels like that's all she is. Extremely impactful line at the end of that saying, fantasize about the dream you left on the shelf, can't even get alone time to think of killing yourself. Like, insane. And then the fourth verse talked about Tyler, and I thought it sounded absolutely perfect. The chorus in particular, which was apparently Tyler the Creator and Daniel Caesar once again, sounded just absolutely beautiful. Let's see where we go, man. I want to keep it going. I want to hear more of this. I want to see how I feel about this album by the end. It's probably going to be very positive based on how I'm feeling right now. Track number 10, Tomorrow.
Nigga, I'm getting old and I need a grandchild, please.
This kid has been a big theme of the album, of course.
We need a little tie money around here, okay?
My mother's hands don't look the same.
Oh.
But don't you wait on me. I'll be fine.
You know, another thing I love about Tyler's music is the fact that he doesn't necessarily have the best natural voice for singing, but he's so talented at making music that he makes it sound amazing and makes it work.
All this shit out, I pop out with that oven. Tell that new version of me that I'm coming. They sharing pictures of these moments, shit is really cute, and all I got is photos of my Rari and some silly suits. I'm too paranoid, so I'ma air it out, and any pressure that you're putting on me, I'ma tear down. Don't you look for me, 'cause time got
Lovely sound to this one. Tomorrow's pretty great too. I am buying the vinyl after this reaction. Holy shit, like this is amazing. From what I could gather, this one seemed to be diving into the idea of Tyler having a child and being a father a little bit more. Kind of seemed to address a little bit of extra pressure in a way that was kind of put on him by his mother. She's talking about how she's getting older and she would love to have a grandchild. She talked about it in a very sweet way. We need a little tiny Tyler lurking around here, which is very cute. But I think here Tyler sort of addresses how that kind of adds to the pressure and his resistance to wanting his life to change. So let's see what we get on the next one. Track number 11, Thought I Was Dead. This one I believe was another single from the album, but I decided not to check it out just because you know, it was close enough to the album release that I thought I'd wait to hear it for the first time on the album.
Okay, bitch, I've been trapped in a zoo. Nigga got packs like the crack of a tooth. Love in the hood, but I must leave. Born way in the hills where I can't see.
Q, another rapper who drops a great album this year.
Now I really got ears, nigga, no chance. I don't wanna be seen in your bromance. I don't wanna be found. I don't wanna be down. I was young man and a nigga hit 30. I was 1 mil and a nigga hit 30. I got too much drive, I'm a terabyte. I got a big old head, I ain't like these niggas, just me. That's what I said. Trav, these niggas are fed.
Interesting. Thought I Was Dead was a pretty cool one. I feel like for me, I've liked the ones that, for the most part, that have just had more content to them so far in terms of like storytelling and stuff like that, and just more beautiful sounds. So I thought this track was solid. I didn't necessarily love it, but still a very good listen. I don't think it disrupted the flow of the album or anything like that. Just one that I wouldn't necessarily put on my favorites, but I thought it was cool. It was a cool track. I'll be interested to watch this with the music video and see what happens in there as well. I feel like that could maybe add on to it a little bit. But yeah, let's see what we get going on to the next track right here. We're moving into the final stretch, man. Track number 12, Like Him.
You got that nigga body.
Oh, see, I see where this is going straight away. All right. Not to be trying to jump ahead of the curve here, but this is definitely Tyler's mum saying that Tyler looks like his dad.
Flat feet, big dick.
Excuse me?
Like him, like him. I'm chasing a ghost. I don't know.
Ooh.
How could I ever miss something that I never had? I'm chasing a ghost.
Ooh.
So do I look like him?
Damn, that is built up to a wonderful piece of music.
It was my fault, not yours, not his. It was my fault. I'm sorry, because he always wanted to be there for you. And I'm sorry I was young, so don't hold that against him, because it was my fault. Just, you know, forgive me.
The whole song was about Tyler's father, which, you know, he's been a big theme in Tyler's music and how he wasn't around. It was interesting because at the end of this one, we got Tyler's mother's perspective on it. She says that she feels like it was her fault that he left, and she sort of takes the blame for it, but wants Tyler to forgive her. But Tyler is saying, I would never judge you because everything worked out without him. I think this was a really nice song, and the build up to the outro of it, or the, you know, the instrumental towards the end, was absolutely amazing. The production throughout all of this has been fantastic, and I thought Like Him was another really good song. The singing on this one might have been slightly more hit or miss for me, but I still enjoyed the track. So last couple songs, man. Track number 13, Balloon.
Yeah, we ain't talking to your dumb ass. You could be a millionaire and still be a bum ass, boy. Okay, look.
What is that? Don't stop, pop that pussy.
No BBLs, I like A cups. Long legs pretty when they wake up. Fuck them regrets. Call them and get all that weight off your chest.
Whoa.
Can I get an amen?
Wow, that's heavenly.
Up in the room, I need a copy.
Oh, Dochi.
Okay. If he is gay, then I am gay, and we are now. Me and Tyler finna take your bitch down. I don't need a passport, I'm a swamp bitch. Oh.
Yeah, Dochi was great here.
I air this bitch out like a queen. I send your ass back to the street.
But she always has lines like that. Wow, that was a wonderful sounding track. That sounded absolutely heavenly. It just had this very light, sweet sound to it, light and airy like a balloon, if you will. I thought this was a super entertaining track, something nice and uplifting before we move into the final track, whatever it may be. We got a Dochi feature on this, and I think her and Tyler is honestly a really solid collaboration. Like, that makes sense. Dochi is very energetic. She's very good at displaying personality through her vocals. I listened to her album from this year a couple days ago. I thought it was solid, but I think it was just a little bit disjointed. It felt like her potential isn't fully fleshed out yet, but there's definitely like heaps of potential there. And I really loved what she did on this song. I thought Tyler was great on here. And I loved the sample as well, the same sample that was used in Sickle Mode from I Wanna Rock. So let's see what we close CHROMAKOPIA with. It is track number 14. I Hope You Find Your Way Home. What an experience has been up to this point, man.
I almost had a mini me, I wasn't ready, and she wanted it with me, I'm talking heavy. See, that's my interest, so as of now, raising a child is not on my wish list. Maybe I should before I'm too old and washed up like dishes. Never bite tongue till it's too sore. Yeah, eating candy yams and some catfish. Yeah, that rich, fuck what you heard, I'm that nigga and I'm that bitch.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, bro. Do your thing. Just keep shining.
CHROMAKOPIA. And that's the end of it right there. I Hope You Find Your Way Home was a lovely way to end this. This album towards the end has had some lovely sounding pianos in particular on here. And this track was no different. Once again, addressed the child situation, saying almost had a mini-me, I wasn't ready, and she wanted it with me, I'm talking heavy. Then we had to guarantee ain't no confetti. So I'm assuming that would say that that he didn't end up having the child with her, because saying almost had a mini-me, I wasn't ready would imply that it didn't happen, and then saying then we had to guarantee ain't no confetti, I would assume that's saying we had to guarantee that there would be no celebration for us having a child because we decided not to have it. It's a big point of conflict on this album, but I think it would be a misinterpretation to take it as this being an album where he reveals that he's having a child. I think it was something that inspired a lot of this album where he almost had one, but in the end it didn't happen. I feel like that's what's being said here. I'm really interested to come back through this because I feel like I've still got a lot of meaning to get out of this album as well, with the cover and this character and just digging a little bit deeper into what everything represents, but I still think it was a pretty great listen. I Hope You Find Your Way Home was a very fitting outro for this album. I loved how it ended. I think this was pretty great. So with that being said, let's get into my initial thoughts on CHROMAKOPIA by Tyler, the Creator. This is one of my favorite albums of the year so far, easily. Might even be my favorite. We'll see. When it gets to end of year list time, you guys will see if it tops my list or not, but it's got a good chance at the moment. I think this was incredibly consistent. Some of the best storytelling Tyler's maybe ever done on here, I think. The structure and the writing of a lot of these songs was fantastic. Production was beautiful from start to finish. I would argue that this sounds nothing quite like what Tyler has done before. This feels fresh. It feels new. I think it was a great album where Tyler was really open and vulnerable. If Call Me If You Get Lost was an album that talked more so about traveling and enjoying life and getting multiple different experiences with a few more vulnerable tracks mixed in there, this was an album that was even more open and vulnerable and filled with content and stories, and I really loved that. I really, really love that. I got so much from this. I think this is the most fun I've had reacting to an album this year, probably, and I'm very glad that I did it. Favorites and least favorites on this album. Favorite tracks for me are Saint Chroma, Rah Tah Tah, Noid, Darling I, Hey Jane, insane start to this album, Take Your Mask Off, and Balloon. First listen, I wrote down half of the songs as my favorites. As for least favorites on the album, I don't have any at the moment. In terms of an initial rating, not a final rating, could change a lot or not at all with more listens. I'm sitting somewhere between an 8 to a 9 out of 10 with CHROMAKOPIA. I think this was great, a fantastically structured album. I feel like every track felt like it needed to be here, even some of the more light-hearted, fun ones that aren't necessarily packed with content, like Sticky, for example. I feel like they still did their thing on here, and you could say that they still tie into the concept in their own way. I can't wait I can't wait to come back through this and give it a re-listen. I feel like a lot of my reaction to this just kind of spoke for itself. I was blown away by so many moments. I thought so much of this was absolutely beautiful. It's an album that's just an absolute masterclass in music production, song structure, songwriting. I feel like everything is pulled off so well here, and I can't wait to give this many more listens and, you know, understand even more about it, understand even more what I like about it, and all that good stuff. That is what I thought of CHROMAKOPIA by Tyler, the Creator. What do you guys think about it? Let me know down in those comments below. Very interested to see what you have to say. Thank you for watching. You can click on the screen right here to check out my previous video, and much love to my Patreon supporters and channel members over there, with a special shout out to I Am Regent, KWG13270, Lucas1123, and Neo Striker.